Welcome back to Women Deliver Live. It's the final day of this extraordinary conference, and I'm here with Jo Swan from the World Health Organization to talk about polio. Now, many of us have forgotten what polio looks like, Jo. Most of us, particularly in the global north, haven't seen the disease for a long time. I have the perspective of an aunt who had the disease as a child, and so I've been able to watch her life and see how it's impacted her and how it's impacting her health now as she ages too. It's a really complicated and debilitating disease. So give us a sense of the picture right now. Where is the world at on polio?
Okay, thanks, Chris. So we're at the brink of eradication at the moment. So it's been an amazing, amazing path, amazing journey since 1988, when the Global Polio Eradication Initiative was established, which is a partnership of WHO, Rotary International, US CDC, UNICEF, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So basically, cases have dropped significantly since 1988, which is the same year that smallpox was eradicated. Okay, so now we're looking at, in 1988, we're looking at 350,000 cases on average, approximately, in 125 endemic countries. This has been cut down to 74 cases in only 2 endemic countries in 2015. So we've come a very, very long way, and with a bit of luck, we'll see the end of polio sooner than we think.
That's an extraordinary thing to think about, the eradication, the complete eradication of another disease. So there have been some exciting developments on this issue while we've been at Women Deliver. Just talk us through some of the announcements that have been made.
Yeah, sure. So just the other day, the government of Canada announced a $19.9 million contribution to polio eradication efforts in Nigeria. This was done at a side event here at the conference. This is greatly needed and appreciated. I mean, these funds will be used to vaccinate about 13 million children, of which about 6.6 million are girls, in 11 high-risk states in Nigeria. The funds will also be used to train about 150,000 vaccinators in their work. So this is a great contribution from the government of Canada, and it's part of their Canadian $250 million commitment to polio eradication efforts worldwide from 2013 to 2018. So this is a great thing. We're very excited about it.
So the interesting thing about what you've just shared is that the work doesn't stop. Nigeria was recently taken off the list of endemic countries, but they still have these critical needs to make sure it stays that way, basically.
Yeah, that's right. So essentially, there's 2 remaining endemic countries, which are Pakistan and Afghanistan. But until transmission is stopped in these 2 countries, countries all around the world are at risk of poliovirus importation. So what Nigeria needs to do, along with a bunch of other countries that have, fragile health systems, is to boost its immunization coverage, and mass vaccination campaigns are helping to do this. So it's a maintenance game, basically, in Nigeria, and especially countries in the Middle East that are afflicted by conflict and insecurity, to make sure that their immunity levels are kept to a standard where polio is not allowed to creep back in. We saw this happen in Syria in 2013, the Middle East outbreak. So basically, plummeting immunization rates in Syria allowed polio to come in and infect children and paralyze children, which then spread to Iraq. So we have to make sure. I mean, this outbreak was reacted to very quickly. WHO and its partners implemented a multi-country, multi-partner response to raise immunization levels and stop transmission very quickly. But this immunity levels need to be maintained. So it's largely a maintenance game, as I said.
So what are the biggest obstacles to this last 1% to get that disease finally eradicated?
Yeah, so the reason polio is still around is because in endemic countries there are pockets of children that are continuously missed due to inaccessibility, insecurity, even refusals, even though this is a small problem in the larger scheme of things, refusals of parents to have their children vaccinated. So what WHO and partners are doing, they're working closely with the governments in both of these countries, but what they're doing is continuing to conduct high quality campaigns So this means that micro-planning, planning down to the household or community level, it has been enhanced. We're also looking at beefing up, and we have been beefing up surveillance to pick up cases of acute flaccid paralysis, which is a major indicator for polio in these countries and in at-risk countries as well. There's social mobilization is a huge thing, advocacy and communications to make sure that any misinformation regarding the oral polio vaccine is addressed. WHO and partners are working with community leaders, religious leaders, and in other social networks to make sure that people are aware of the need to vaccinate, but also to dispel any rumors or false information about the oral polio vaccine. In Pakistan, there's public service announcements are being utilized in areas where there are areas of clusters of refusals of families not wanting to vaccinate their children. This is important because it builds a sense of familiarity and trust around the vaccinator. So it's not as if it's just a random person showing up at your door with drops. This is actually a person that has been presented to you as part of the community, as linked to you as a mother or as a father, as a vaccinator.
So trust factor is huge.
Yeah, trust factor is massive, exactly. And that's why women are so important, and I think it was such an opportune time for Canada to announce their contribution at the conference. Women have that ability to instill trust in a way, that's working wonders. And not only as vaccinators, but social mobilizers, communications experts, and even people high up in the Ministry of Health. And in senior positions to make sure that the job's being done. So women are doing a fantastic job and delivering a polio-free world.
We are doing our best.
We're doing our best.
So we just in our last minute close us out with your call to action for this community here, the 6,000 delegates and those watching online.
Great. Yeah. So I'd just like to thank you again for this opportunity. Basically, we can't take our foot off the pedal now. I mean, we're this close. We're almost there. So it's ensuring that the international community backs, these two countries in finishing the job, and also continues to support countries at risk of polio to maintain their high immunization coverage. So until those Pakistan and Afghanistan has stopped stopped transmission of polio, nowhere is safe, and we're so close. We just need to keep up the momentum.
Every kid deserves a shot at life, and a shot at a life that gives them movement and mobility.
Absolutely.
Let's get this done.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.